Hello, my name is Sebastian Markt. I'm the head of programming for feature films at Berlinale Generation. And today it's my pleasure to talk to Inês Alves, the director of Juunt Pastaza Entsari, which is going to have its world premiere in the Generation K+ competition at this year's Berlinale. Welcome, Inês.
Welcome, thank you. Nice to meet you.
You have a background both in cultural studies and documentary filmmaking. You've made a number of short films that are fairly broad in range and form. If we think of filmmaking as a way of looking at the world and engaging with it, how would you describe your personal gaze?
Interesting question. I think for me, I want to always work in this intuitive way of relating with things. So it's why I like the documentaries in that sense of being in direct contact with the elements and the things I found, and then it let them communicate with me. So I try, to not have like super fixed ideas of what I want to do. I have some things that come to my mind, or that it's with me and I want to explore, and then I just let that the encounter happens. And also it's how I like to, that's why I like to also to work with the experimental material, or like ways of doing, not just this classical documentary. So I'm more, I mean, if it's the thing that I'm looking to asks for the more classical way of doing it, then it's fine. It's just being open to what it's there, and how I feel it's the most reasonable way to communicate, or to show, to express.
Let's take a look at an excerpt of this film, which is your feature-length documentary debut, and then we can talk more about the film.
Yes.
Maybe to begin with, can you tell us something about this particular place and the community, and what your mode of collaboration and working together was?
So this is a community of around 80 inhabitants, in the middle of the Amazon rainforest, so it's really isolated. So to arrive there, I had to take with these small planes and then a canoe, like 2 hours in the canoe, because there is no roads. It's really, and they belong to the Achuar tribe, and this community is called Sua. And yeah, it's in the side of Ecuador, but it's really in the border with Peru. So these tribes, the Achuar tribe, they are there in this area in Ecuador and Peru. And yeah, and it was really a chance that by chance that I went there. Or so I was living in London. I was doing a master in documentary film in London before I went there. And I really wanted to get out of the city and Europe, and I don't know, after the London experience, I really wanted to go to more somewhere in the nature, and the Amazon was already calling me somehow, and then I wanted to stay in one place and not. I didn't want to travel in that. I wanted to be in one place and doing something, get to know something for a while. Something different. And then I discovered, I was searching in the internet, and there was a couple that started like an informal project with this community. They met the community and proposed them, because they have a school, a primary school with the local teacher that belongs to the community as well. And then they proposed them if they wanted to receive volunteers to go there to help in the school. So they started this project. So they were just making the bridge. They are not living there anymore, so there was nobody outside of the community there when I arrived. So they just explained me how the project was, how to make it, to give it a continuity, and how to arrive and how it works. So I sound perfect for me, and I didn't have the intention of doing a film. But I was doing already film workshops with kids and here in Portugal. So I was more thinking of that. So that's why I took with me some very basic equipment, more to play with the kids of doing films, like more in a playful way, to share this knowledge with them, and so to see what we could do together. And yeah, and then after I spent so many time with them, I was spending all my time with the kids of the community outside of the school. Actually, I prefer much more to be with them outside of the school or in the school. It was a bit difficult for me, this role of being in like teacher. So we spent a lot of time, and we started playing with the camera, and they also had started to have cell phones, smartphones. It was a very recent thing for them, because when I arrived, it was they had electricity for 2 months. It was very recent, the electricity. So it was something that they started to have it, and then so they were exploring that as well, the technology, computer and smartphones. Yeah, and then I was amazed by the way they were so autonomous and resourceful, and I was really impressed with how much I was learning with them. That I just called me for this making this film, to somehow show it to the others, this strong of these powerful kids.
This is one of the strong elements of the film that sort of stands out, that it's a very special film about childhood in a way. It's almost devoid of adults for the longest time, and the children themselves, as you already mentioned, they have a very autonomous feel about them, but also a sense of collaborating. And which I think is maybe the other very strong element, is that there is a very lush nature, and the relationship to nature, as well as in some parts technology, as you mentioned, is also something that I think interested you a lot in this approach?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It was a bit. I had a bit difficult to also to, I don't know, to see these because I mean I was so amazed by the nature and how they were so free and so resourceful, and how they all the time up on the trees and picking up fruits and making fire and everything. But then you look to the side and there was a kid with a smartphone, like completely obsessed with the phone. And of course, for me, it was a bit like, oh no. But at the same time, of course, it's what happens anywhere with these technologies, with kids, with just the curiosity as well for them to have something new. But for me, it was really these like two sides, like suddenly so evident there, like this nature and the technology, and how it's impressive, and a bit also the understanding that things will change so fast, because they never had before any TV or even radio. They were completely isolated, and now suddenly when I was there was no internet, but now I know there is. So it will be a huge change very fast, and that's for sure interesting to observe and to reflect on and see how things what is going to happen.
It's also as this kind of community in the rainforest, there's sort of a political element to centering such a community, since both the rainforest as a natural habitat, but also as the living space of people is under threat. Was that something that was also on your mind in making it the centerpiece of your film? In some way, definitely. I think it's really a period that the Amazon is suffering a huge devastation, more than ever, and even at the time there where I was, there was not so much. People were not talking so much about it. They knew there was some economic interests on exploring the area and for wood and this wood industry, but there was not so much a topic. And then when I was there, because I was so involved with the kids and this, I was not thinking so much about it. But then when I get out and I was thinking what to do with the film and what could be also the purpose of showing this film. And then I was also talking with some people that know the community as well in Ecuador, that are close by, and they told me that now it's really it become really a thing, this exploration of the land there, and it's more and more. And so I definitely think it's a good time to show the film and to really like make it as a statement as well. I mean, the statement of the kids is like it's their place, and we should be inspired by them and by the way they live, and also the way we are educating our kids and our child here. I think it's everyone that has a child and see the film, I think they relate to this, like make this comparison or like. Yeah, that's also something that I maybe wanted to ask you about as a final question for today. This is something that's a very striking aesthetic quality of the film, that on the one side it's a very precise and patient observation of a very specific place and community, and on the same time the film often gets a poetic quality that sort of makes it a bit more far-reaching or abstract, and we start to think about a different relationship of space and time, of childhood in a broader sense. Was that something that you had in mind from the beginning, or is that something that during your work that it became this sometimes even almost dreamy quality?
Mm-hmm. I think it started to appear. It was not, as I said, I didn't have the idea of to make the film. So a lot of image were, when I was doing, I was still not really knowing. I didn't know what I was going to do with them. And actually, I didn't film just the kids. I have a lot of other situations because I didn't know. I knew very soon that the focus was the kids because I was much more connected with them, with the other people, or I was spending so much time with them, and it was what impressed me more. But I didn't know exactly what was the film will be about or how, but it was just I just let me go with this experience of being with them in the nature and with the connection with the animals and with the trees, and it was just becoming this sensitive of feeling the environment, and then the narratives start to appear, but in a very natural way, or more like with the time, also after seeing the image, after when I was back to Europe, but it was more to just let somehow the nature to talk and to see what.
Well, thank you very much for this beautiful film and for bringing it to Berlin and for taking the time to talk today.
Yeah, thank you for giving this space and this opportunity to show the film.
Thanks.